Okay, that was, I guess, the mic was off. So yeah, let's do it again. A very good evening to everyone who's present here. And I'm Prasad, and I welcome you back once again to yet another bootcamp program that we have for you. And this time we have something different, something into the world of security, hacking, and all that stuff, right? So we are doing cybersecurity and ethical hacking bootcamp. We're going to dive deep into the basic concepts and a little bit of hands-on on how you can learn a few concepts. Yeah, so let me just take a look in the chat and see how many interested students are there. So let me just pull up my screen here. Yep. So yeah, let me just stop this so it doesn't go on loop. Okay, let's see in the chat. Hi. Good evening, everyone. Just let me know in the chat from which all cities you are joining. So we are from Mumbai. So hi, we are from Mumbai. So let us know in the chat from where, which all corners from India and abroad you guys are joining, so that we know that where all our audience is. So we have Delhi, Patna, Kolkata, Chhattisgarh, Vizag, Hyderabad, Delhi, Surat. Amazing. Let's keep this energy going, guys. Yeah. So I'm not going to be your instructor, of course. So I'm just here to guide you as always, right? For all the students who are joining us for the very first time, please be generous and please hit that subscribe and like button. And all the people who already know us and how this works, you already know the process, right? The very first step is to get yourself registered if you have not done yet so, and the second step is to just watch these sessions for the next 5 days, right? 7:30 to 8:30 is the timing, and then you get a certificate of completion of this cybersecurity and ethical hacking bootcamp, right? So let's quickly dive in for the process. So right, so the everything that you require for this program, literally from registrations to getting certificates to marking your attendance, everything is in the description box. So for me it is in the edit option, but for you guys you have to just go down here below and you're going to see this description. I'm going to explain it very slowly for the next 2 minutes so that you don't have any queries, and then we can get right into learning about cybersecurity, right? So this particular all-in-one documentation, right, of course please use this full link, because I guess if everyone of you are using it at once, it is going to all-in-one doc. So yeah, so this is going to be your guide for the whole program. Let me just pin, okay, let me just pin this message. So I've just pinned a message in the chat, if you can see, right? So this is going to be the documentation that is going to take you everywhere where you're getting stuck, right? Everything is going to be in this doc. So what all things are there, right? So let's go and open up this doc. So I've accessed this from the chat link. You can also do that from the, you can say, pinned chat, right? This will bring to you to this documentation that we have, which we call as the one doc, right? And this is the doc link. If you want to save it somewhere, send to your friend and keep, you have it here. Then the next important thing is the enrollment and the attendance link, right? So once you have to click on this, if you are not enrolled, it will get you and enroll you into that particular program. And if you've already enrolled, it will take you to a dashboard where you're going to see all the classes and you can mark your attendance and also divert back to the sessions, right? So I believe again, yeah, so I believe again it is pretty much the same problem that is happening. Everyone is trying to access it at same time. So I'm going to go from the URL way, since I know, I think I know the program, but I don't think I know the program. So I'm just going to go to, yeah, I have the program with me, right? Cybersecurity. So this is basically the link. If you guys do not have, I'm just going to spam it in the chat. Yep. So if you're not enrolled, it is going to enroll you guys. Since I'm already enrolled, it is showing me this dashboard. So this is basically where you will see the progress, currently standing at 0% since I've not completed any of the session, right? And then we have our Discord community, which you can join, or the WhatsApp channel where you get all the updates related to the next programs, events, giveaways, anything that happens within Let's Upgrade. And of course, if you want to share your referral link with your friends, get some LU coins and everything, you can use that. And of course, we are working on the LU store. I know a lot of you have doubts, but that is coming really soon. uh, and then we have the schedule for the program. You have 13, 14, 15, 16 and 17. Until 17 you can see this button right here, which will take you to the sorry for that, it will take you to the YouTube page that we are seeing the lecture on. Coming back, you have this tiny attendance button right besides the watch live button. You have to just open up that, mark your attendance, give whatever feedback you have after the session, Just one request: if you are giving anything below 10, right, even if you're giving 9, please let us know what went wrong and where you gave us one mark less, so that we can improvise, so that we can make your experience better for the next session, right? For now, of course, I'm going to give a 10 and nothing and submit the attendance. That's it. That is how I've marked my attendance. Tomorrow I have to come back when the session starts at 7:30. The attendance option would be open for the next session. Now, once you mark the attendance, right, you see, right, the session progress, program progress is to 20%. Now there are two important things that are very important for getting a certificate. First is you have to mark your attendance and assignments, if any. Most probably there will no assignments. There will be hands-on sessions that you need to practice after the instructor is doing. Your certificate is going to be available to you after 17th of August, 7:30 p.m. So after the last class starts, you can come back and download the certificate. You need to have more than 50% of progress. So basically it's like you need to attend more than 3 classes, yeah, to get the certificates. Yep, I believe that's, and yeah, we have student ambassador program where you, yeah, student ambassador program where you can get access to premium courses for free that we have. You have gift coupons. Since we do many activities, you get premium gear, swag kits, special SAP ID cards, and also some extra sessions from industry that we do not usually do on YouTube. And then we also have a Postman API bootcamp. I believe everyone has by now done it, but yeah, you can of course come back and join this bootcamp, and then you can get, you can say, Postman premium goodies, chances to win earbud, smartwatch, gaming chair, gaming keyboard, and maybe an iPad as well. Yeah, so all these programs are there. You can just go to the Postman program on the homepage of Let's Upgrade and join that. Now coming back to the document, and then all the links are again also here for you to, use it. Then we have the whatever I just mentioned, right, is also documented here. In case anyone missed out, joined late, or whatever, you can come back and see this all thing here, right? I hope all the queries are solved, and let me just stop my screen again and start taking your doubts. Let me just go here. OTP is not, guys, stop spamming. Just one message would be fine. All what you can do is just hit once for the OTP and wait. It takes some time. Do not keep on pressing it multiple times, or you will go in a timeout from the OTP system. In case you still face an issue, I am putting down a support email. You can just put your email ID with which you're facing the OTP issue, and then it should be solved. Yeah, don't spam in the chat. And yes, the session is going to be in English for so that everyone is understanding. So we will not switch to completely Hindi, but yeah, a little bit Hindi English will be there. Yep. Don't worry. This, I guess, everyone is trying to open at the same time. That is why the error is coming. But yeah, you can of course open it later as well. So do not worry. You can mark your attendance later as well. Yeah. So with that, that was my time, guys. I'll just get your instructor. Yeah. So let me just welcome Himanshu. Hi, Himanshu. How are you?
Hello, Prasad. I'm good. What about you?
All good. Thank you, Himanshu, for joining. And guys, Himanshu is going to be the instructor for the next 5 days. So please, you can say, बोलते हैं ना, परेशान करो. Ask your doubts, but ask legit doubts. He is going to be your instructor, pro in cybersec. He is going to help you train thousands and thousands of students, colleges, corporates, and everything. So he's going to be the best person to guide you. So yeah, I'll hand it over to you, Himanshu. All the best, and see you at the end.
Thank you, Prasad. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Okay. So, hello all. My name is Himanshu. There will be a little bit introduction about myself, and I will be your instructor or speaker for this bootcamp, cybersecurity and infosec bootcamp, presented by Let's Upgrade. My name is Himanshu, and I am a cybersecurity trainer and instructor, certified mentor from EC Council itself, and I have done few of the certificates from EC Council, from FortiGate, network specializations, and cybersecurity specializations as well. So, hope you can see my screen with introduction to cybersecurity. Now, there will be an first of all, let's discuss about the agenda. That what is our agenda for today's boot camp, which we are going to perform today. Now, this boot camp has been presented by Let's Upgrade, as we all know. This cybersecurity bootcamp is designed to provide intensive live training in various aspects of cybersecurity. So we will discuss about the aspects of cybersecurity. We will discuss about the domains. We will discuss about the threats. We will discuss about that how cybersecurity works and what is exactly information security and how exactly we are working in the field of cybersecurity and what are the future aspects for that. Right. Then we will discuss about the domains of cybersecurity. Business continuity is one inside the cybersecurity, information security, as you can say, right? And that is somewhat like that everybody is working for the organizations, right? Our organization need to be secure from the data loss, right? Which we call it as data loss preventions and all. So whether we can say small organizations, large organizations, or medium-sized organizations, everybody needs the cyber security, and they also need to secure their information over the internet, which is present over there. So we already know that we have so much of data present over the internet. We have so much data present over the cloud. We have so much data present over the Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube channels, right? So we already need to secure all this data, right? Whatever the things which belongs to us, which belongs to the organizations, and we are really working for those organizations to be secure, right? So this is our main agenda, right? So that is why we are here into the cyber security. Okay. Now, the day one is filled with live examples and metaphorical use of cybersecurity, how we can design all the things, right, and how we can get about the complete information about the security, information security, how we are driving it, okay, how industry is driving it, and how they are exactly working in the domain of cybersecurity with real world examples, right? Then cybersecurity or information security, both are the same things, but we are calling it into the information security, which is like we are securing the information, as I already told you. Can be applied as data shield, digital gatekeeper, electronic lifeguard, or virtual fortress, right? So these are the basically terms which we are following inside the domain of cybersecurity, inside the domain of information security, and we are really working exactly the same way, the way I have written over there, the data shield. Cybersecurity is a data shield. We are providing the support to the organization, and we are the shield here, right? So if I talk about one of the domain who is as a defensive side, which is called as SOC, Security Operations Center, is a defensive side, which is a shield, you can say. Then there is a digital gatekeeper, like other devices, other assets we have inside our infrastructure, whatever the infrastructures we have designed. So that is called as digital gatekeepers. So whatever the data is coming inside and going outside, so we are already having these type of things that they are covering each and every infrastructure within our infrastructure, right? Electronic lifeguard or virtual fortress, that is like lifeguard, whatever the electronically devices we have inside the infrastructure, they are just do it. Okay. If I go ahead, then now I would like to work about that what is cybersecurity and information security. Cybersecurity, information security, if I talk about in a really genuine way, or how we are exactly working inside the industry or infrastructure, that is somewhat like closely related fields. Cybersecurity and information security are closely relatable fields, right? But they focus on different aspects of protecting data and systems within an organization, or within the domains we can say, right? Whatever the domains we are working, whatever the things, assets we are working, whatever the devices if we have. So cybersecurity is particularly performing a different side, and information security is just like protecting the information, whatever the information we have over the internet, right? Then there is a short term for information security as well, which is like infosec. Okay, is a practice to protect information from various threats to ensure its confidentiality, integrity, and availability. This we call it as CIA triad in the field of information security or security, right? So these are the three pillars on which our security is dependent. Okay. Now, if I talk about the cyber security first, then there could be things like threats, malware, right, hacking, or ransomware. So I hope everybody has heard about the ransomware, right? So ransomware is somewhat like that we are encrypting the systems and demanding the ransom from the third parties or the targets, we can say. In genuine term, or if I say that the hacking term or the cybersecurity term, right? There is a saying like the targets. Okay, attackers are performing the events and they are deciding the targets whom they want to attack. Okay, so ransomware is a part as a malware or a script, you can say, which is here to lock all the devices and lock all the files inside the infrastructure. Now they are demanding for the money. Okay, malware is somewhat like that. This is a malicious script which is working on the devices, whatever the assets we have inside the infra. Okay, so if the malicious scripts are going on, right, if you are running malicious scripts, then that can cause harm to our assets, which simply means that our assets are not designed in a way to work. Okay, designed in a way in the sense like if we have one asset designed to work as an active directory. Okay, if it is leaking any of the information to public internet, right? So with the help of any type of malware or a malicious script, so that is also which is not meant to be. Okay, now if I say that hacking, so hacking is a particular part that if we are targeting any of the systems and we are doing cheats and we are doing the ransomware and all, so that is like that we are doing hacking and targeting the systems and to identify the loopholes within the organization or the infrastructure. Right. Information security is totally depend on policies, rules, disaster recovery, communication, and compliance. Okay. So like we are creating the policies. On those policies, we are working clearly. Okay, we are very much clear to those policies. And whenever we are applying those policies, so alongside we are also using such type of uh, tools as well inside the infrastructure. Right. Tools are like SIM tools we are using, EDR tools we are using, XDR tools we are using. Okay, email security tools are using. So all those tools are working basically on the policies, right? And policies totally depends on various organization how they are exactly working within the infrastructure or within the public domain, right? If I talk about disaster recovery, then disaster recovery is somewhat like that is not dead disaster recovery, floods and all. This is disaster recovery like some breach has been happened. We should have a backup over the cloud or over the on-prem servers, right? On servers are like the servers which we have inside our infrastructure, inside any organization infrastructure, and we are only managing those. Okay, those servers or those clouds. Then if I talk about the cloud, then there could be a different vendors we have. Azure cloud might be possible, most of the people have already listened about it. Azure cloud and the AWS cloud, which are the market leaders as of now, right? So most of the industry is also using these type of clouds to secure their networks and to put the data or information over them, right? So and after that the communication, whatever the communication we are doing over the network, right? Whatever the devices we are using inside the infrastructure to communicate for public internet to private internet. Okay, then we are also working and talking about the informations to be secure with the help of we are applying a small thing which is just like the encryption, you can say, right? So you guys have already seen the website. Okay, if no, then I can show you. That will be a clear idea which you will get over here. That what exactly I am telling to you. Okay. So I hope you can see my screen. And if I am opening google.com, right? I'm sorry. Yeah. So this is google.com. Okay. Now here you will be able to see that connection is secure, right? So this is how it is doing the communication over the internet. So this is the public internet. Okay, not a private internet. Private internet is like that we are using our organization internet and we are doing whatever the things we are doing, whatever the devices we are accessing with the help of our organization network. No, this is not a case. This is a public internet which I am accessing to Google, right? And here you can see that connection is secure where it is using the TLS. Okay, so transport layer security we call it as. Okay, now this is using a certificate and this is also using an encryption. right? Now here, if I tell you that certificate is valid, so this is how we are checking the certificate, that whether the encryption certificate is valid or not. Now it is also showing that what type of communication it is using, what type of encryption it is exactly using, the public key and the certificate, right? So this is how we can identify the version of the certificate, who is exactly using it, the validity and all, right? If the application is using, web application is using HTTPS, then they should apply a particular certificate over their websites. With the help of that, it will automatically transfer or the communication over the HTTPS, which is port number 443. Then it will apply the encryption over whatever the communication you are doing. Okay, moving ahead, I will tell you that how exactly they are communicating. But till the time you can understand that whatever the communications we are doing, suppose the data we are transferring, just in a way like I can show you, right? So if I say let's upgrade, okay. Now if I see this one, okay, I'm clicking on it, right? Now whatever the communication I did over here, that is totally encrypted. Nobody can see it, what exactly I am typing, what exactly where I am going, nobody will see it. But this will transfer all the details into a particular encrypted form, right? Symbols, alphanumerical values, numerical values, characters, it will add into the whatever the things I have typed here. Let's upgrade, and then it will transfer all the communication to the servers, and after receiving, it will exactly transfer it to your system. Okay, the endpoint systems we generally say into the cyber security. Okay, so this is the one thing. This is how exactly communications are happening, and what all the other things they are applied in the backend. You will be able to see those. Right now, moving ahead, this was for the communication. If I say that why security matters, this is again a case that why exactly security matters for us. uh, I say that most of the beginners having this question, right? And now, why exactly security matters for the organizations, for the infrastructure, right? For public, right? For private organizations, for government organization, what is the case? Right. So this is a new question for everyone, and everyone is curious about this. That why exactly? Okay. So whenever we are reading any of the topic, right? Whenever we are deep downing into something, then we have to know that what exactly the things are working and why. There is always a question why. Right. So right now I'm giving you the answer of that particular why. Why security matters. Okay. So like security matters for a multitude of reasons that touch on well-being of individuals, organizations, and societies. I'm not targeting any of the organization. I'm not targeting any of the industry. This is not a case where the security matters for all of us. Okay. Whether you are a student, whether you are working professional, whether you are working in an organization, there is a private organization, government organization, doesn't matter. Everybody needs the security because we all are present over the internet. Okay, if we are not present, then it is surely that our details are present over the internet somewhere, somehow anybody can access it, right? And they can get the idea about what exactly you are doing, what exactly where you are going, right? And what is your day-to-day activities, what you are doing today, what you are doing tomorrow, and what you did yesterday, right? So everything is present online, so we have to be safe. Then this is why security matters. Okay, so something which we have is like the protection about this. Okay, now the protection of confidential information, which is like the information which you have. Okay, people those who are present over here, okay, they might be possible they are um, present over the internet, they are using the applications, they must be using the social media, right? So you are also providing your confidential data over these particular social media websites, right? So this is how we are protecting of confidential information that exactly we have to secure over the internet. Then safeguarding against financial loss, as we already know that the phone scams are continuously increasing. In a sophisticated term, we are talking it about the internet fraud. Okay, modern day internet fraud. Okay, so that is why security also matters for us. If we have the knowledge about cyber security, information security, a little bit information, And if we are aware about this, then we can surely prevent and safeguard ourselves against the financial loss. Okay, this is on the peak. The financial loss or the scams are on the peak over the internet, as we already know, right? Then this is also useful for maintaining trust and reputation, right? Ensuring operational continuity. This is for businesses, small business, medium business, large businesses. Everybody needs the security, so that the 4 point ensures for that operational continuity. The systems and assets, whatever we are using, that should be in a operational continuity manner, right? Then we have compliance with legal and regulatory requirements. Compliance is like we are doing audits, okay, where the systems are working fine. Whatever the security policies we have applied over the assets, they are working fine. So there is a complete package. After every 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, we are doing these type of audits, and we are catching that if everything is going right or okay. Then preventing unauthorized access and manipulation. This is again a part of the big organization. But again, if someone is trying to access your Gmail account, or someone is trying to use your banking accounts, right? So that is like preventing unauthorized access and manipulation. Do you have guys have already received few of the messages over your phone or the number from banks, right? So do not share your OTP. This is the same thing. The 6 point preventing unauthorized access and manipulation. So if somebody is trying to access your account, they need a OTP, and they will call you. They will do some social engineering, right? And they will manipulate you to identify what exact OTP you received. And once they receive the OTP, they can simply go and check your internet thing, and might be possible you will be. This is the protection which we are applying through online frauds. Okay. Then we have protecting intellectual property. The property which we have belongs to us, belongs to any organization. If I talk about the organization, then they have the assets, whatever the assets they are applying, the tools they are using, okay, the systems they have. So that is called the intellectual property for any of the organization, or intellectual property can be varied to person to person. Okay. Then avoiding person harm over the internet, if we have, right, supporting national security and countering technological advancement. So these are the security measures, or this is how security matters for all of us, right? Now this is something which I would like to showcase to in front of you guys, right? Now this is what I have is like types of cyber threat, right? We have so many type of cyber security threats. Okay, if I talk about for a person, for an individual, if I talk about for the private organization, if I talk for the government organizations, right? So there are something which we have for all of us, right? This is not a case that threats are differently defined for government organizations. No. If I say that the threats are designed differently for private organization, this is again a big no. This is not a case, right? There are sophisticated attacks, or there are sophisticated threats which are going on. Some of them are latest, right? And some of them are already predefined. Somebody has used just year back. Now they are using the upgraded version of those type of attacks. If I say the ransomware, right? And if I give you the example like Mirai ransomware, okay, so that has been triggered firstly in 2020 to 2021 in the year. Okay, now they are using the latest and upgraded version of Mirai botnets. Okay, or I can say that the Lockbit ransomware they are using. So that is this term called it as RAS, ransomware as a service, RAAS. Okay, whenever we are picking up some type of malware scripts or the ransomware, what which have already designed by the professionals or by the black hat hackers. Okay, now some of them has already get the access. They have the proper application APIs of that particular ransomware. Now they do not have the idea that how exactly ransomware is working, how we are doing. They are just getting the information, transferring it to one of the systems, and they are just doing such type of jobs over the internet. So this is still going on. This is the real thing which I am telling you. I'm not making it by my own. This is the real thing which is still going on, right? Malware, I told you phishing, but here you can see the diagram over your screens, which is DOS or DDoS. Okay, so this is the example of DOS and DDoS. How exactly a DOS or DDoS is happening? First of all, I would like to tell you what exactly DOS or DDoS is. Okay, so DOS is like denial of service, and DDoS is like distributed denial of service. Okay, there is a difference between these two. The assets which we are using or the other things which we are using, that totally depends on those. DOS belongs to denial of service, which means we are using single system, right? And from that particular single system, we are transferring the data. We are using the commands. Okay, so I can show you that exactly I would like to tell you. Wait a moment. Okay, so here, this is just a small example which I'm giving you over here, right? Which is if I'm doing ping, okay, uh, to the domain. Okay, this is a DNS IP of Google. Okay, and this is how which I am doing ping reply, and continuously I am doing it. Okay, so here you can see this is TTL, time to live. Okay, 60 milliseconds. This is time, how much time it has been took to transfer one data to Google DNS, right? If I'm running tracer here, okay, over the 888.
Sir, can you just zoom your screen? The font is not
Yes, yes,
visible.
yes.
Yeah,
Now it is visible. Yeah, I
a
hope it
little bit.
will. Okay, okay,
Yeah, that's
okay.
fine. Thank you.
That's fine. Okay, thank you. Okay, so this is how we can see that it is giving you the reply. Okay, from this is the DNS IP of Google. How much byte it sent? 32 byte it particularly it sends, right? Time, how much time it took to send this particular reply, single reply. Okay, from my system to Google DNS. Okay, now this much time it took 9 milliseconds, and time to live it is like 60 seconds. It is leaving. After 60 seconds, it again tried. My system again tried and the data towards the DNS. Okay, Google DNS, and it took around 7 milliseconds. This is the second packet which is sent. So whatever the communication is happening in the form of packets. Okay, the general term is packets. My system is sending the packets over the NS. From there, it is collecting some type of header or communication from the Google DNS servers. Then it is coming back to your system. Okay, again, your system is trying to the third side. Okay, maximum or minimum, it will write the same query 4 times. Okay, this is how we can see if I'm running the ping command, then most of the time it will run for the 4 times. Okay, and this is particular time it is taking 7 milliseconds, and the bytes are saying 32 bytes. Okay, so here it is giving you the ping statistics for Google DNS, right? Now here I run that tracert 8.8.8. Okay, this is again a DNS IP for Google. Okay, now here it is using which IP addresses it is going and coming from your system to DNS, then from DNS to your system. How much devices were there inside that particular route from where your data is going and coming inside? Okay, so this much time it took to pass the 8 nodes from your system to DNS. So suppose if I am talking about the DOS, denial of service, if somebody is trying to get into the malicious script, okay, or the program, if I'm writing, now that particular program is trying ping again and again on one of the server. I'm not talking about Google because nobody can do it for Google because they are changing their IP addresses after every 15 minutes, right? But if I'm taking an example for Google or any other devices, there is a malicious script, the malware which I just talked about. Okay, if I'm running a malicious script and that is continuously doing ping for one of the server, which is not that much capable to handle the data for a particular time frame, okay, then it can cause harm or deny all the services which are running over that particular server, right? So this is one of the example for DOS. right? Now, if I talk about DDoS, which is distributed denial of service, okay, that is like I have so many systems at my place. Okay. If I do not have so many systems at my place, then I am using bots. Okay. The malicious script you can say, or the applications or the code I have written for that. Okay. Right now I have seen that most of the people are also selling the bots, okay, over the Telegram, okay, over the dark web, right? So from there people are getting the bots, and those bots are trying to send the data towards any of the systems, whatever the assets they choose. Okay, so that is called distributed denial of service. Multiple bots are trying to do. So this is the diagram which I would like to show you here on your screen, which is present. One is attacker who is initiating the attack, the DDoS attack, distributed denial of service. Then that particular attack is going to control server. There is a single server, just like a DNS server, DMZ, or something else, the assets which are present over the internet or which is present over the infrastructure, right? So this control server from where the bot is installed. Okay, now over there the bot is installed. Now bot is transferring the big amount of data which you cannot even think about it, at how much big it is. It will be into the TB, not GB. Nothing, that it will be into the TB, and high data sets they are sending, and high range of packet they are sending from a control server. So control server is for bots, where bots are present, and those bots are initiating the attacks over multiple victims, means targets. We are seeing it as targets. Okay, so here you can see botnet attach nodes. Multiple bots are attached with the control server. They are initiating the attacks. Now they are sending single bot. Suppose for an example, this particular bot, single bot, is sending around 100 TB of data to one of the victims. Okay, and suppose this is 100, this is 100, 100 and 100, right? So this is the data which they are transferring for single time frame, means in milliseconds they are transferring those. Now the server is not capable to handle these type of services or these type of requests enough. So this is how they are working on denial of services. So it will be able to present over the internet, and that will get down. All right. So that is called distributed denial of service. This is one of the example of DOS and DDoS which I just showed you. Right now, if I talk about SQL injection first, right, I have few of the things to show you guys for SQL injection. Okay, now here, right, this is right, here, this one. This is the website which I am using. Okay, and this is a test website which you guys also use for learning purposes. Okay, uh, here you can also see that it is written the demo site only here on your screens, right? So whenever we are trying to work on the SQL injections and something more, then this will give you the access to work on your SQL injections practices and all. Right over here. Now what exactly SQL injection is? SQL injection is like that we are uh, putting some type of scripts, means the query, SQL query over the login pages of any of the website. Right here on your screens you can see that I have working on online banking login. Here I have clicked. Right now you can see that username and passwords. Okay, now if we are trying to do the SQL injection, then we are working on the SQL queries. Okay, SQL works as select star from table name. Okay, what exact data we need inside that column. Okay, so this is how that particular queries are working. But there is a catch. If we have vulnerability, SQL injection vulnerability, I can show you what exact that vulnerability I'm talking about. If I am OAuth stop, Okay, now if I'm opening it, here you will be able to see the injection, right? This is OAuth's top 10, okay, which is generally providing the data about which all the vulnerabilities were present for over the 3 years or 4 years over any of the web and how they were targeted over the internet. So here at third top 10, then here you can see top three. The third one is injection. You can see the SQL injection. Okay, so this is present over the multiple websites which we are just going to try. Okay, and OAuth Open is the organization which is working on these surveys, right, for web application and for mobile applications both. Okay, now here if I am applying one, okay, so there are some of the terms for SQL injections. Okay, now you can use one is equals to one. Okay, how the data is exactly working behind the SQL injection, right? Select star from table. Okay, whatever the table we have, the admin table, user table, candidate table, employee table. Okay, these are common tables which all of them are applied, okay, over the Oracle SQL databases, right? So this is a genuine term. Now we are identifying one of the column names, which could be again a genuine one like employee ID. Okay, the primary key, if we can say. Now we are applying that true, true, and true false. Okay, these are the things which I am applying. All right. So if I want that from a table, whatever the table I am choosing and whatever the column I am choosing, if it is there, then true and true positives will be fetched. So how I am writing all of those? One is equals to one again. So that is like positive. Okay, one is equals to one. That will be like true. If it will become two, then do we have this type of data? No, there is a syntax error which it is showing. Right now, if I am applying star or any symbol hash, right, exclamatory mark, okay, or if I am only applying two is equals to two, okay, two is equals to two, right, then it will become this, right? The same I am applying over here. So it is again saying that this is a syntax error. So this is how this is like hit and trial method. There are two type of things. This is what I am trying is blind SQL injection. Okay, blind SQL injection, like I have seen username, I have seen password, this particular page, the login page, which is here, you can see over your screens. Right, if you can see up here, right now, I am trying with multiple hit and trial method. This is called blind SQL injection. Hit and trial method I am trying. Okay, so that is like 2 is equals to 1, star 1 is equals to 2, or these type of things, true positive and false positive, these type of things, the terms which I am writing over here. So if there will be a problem of SQL injection or the vulnerabilities could be found on the basis of these true and false positive criteria, then it will fetch the data about all the users which are present over there. Okay, if not, then it won't give you. I will give you the backend code as well. Okay, wait a moment. Now if I'm doing the this one which I'm writing over here, unknown apostrophe or one is equals to one. This is like if you going inside into the database, identify for unknown, okay, or identify for true. Both are the values as true. Okay, one is equals to one. The same thing, whatever the query you are writing into the username, the same query you need to write over the password. Okay, the
Sir, can
SQL
you
query
just
which you need.
zoom the screen?
Yeah, sure. Okay,
Uh, yep.
right. Now the thing which you are writing over here, the same thing you need to present this way. It will show it like this, and username is like this. Why it is showing this way, I will also show you. Right. If I'm clicking on login, now you will be able to see that I have logged in as an admin. I was not able to do so, that I was not able to present it as a username. I was not able to understand the password, right? I was not having those. Okay. But if it's still this particular website is having the problem of SQL injection or vulnerability, in a general term, we call it as vulnerability, SQL injection vulnerability. Right. So this is how which you can say. Now it is welcoming you as an admin user. Now, if you want to get the details about the particular account of an admin user, now you are the admin. Okay, now you can change anything. Now you have the complete access of all the data of Altoro Mutual. Okay, now if I'm running as checking, now it will give you the data about all of those savings, select account, how much dollar it is having, right? So it is fetching all the data which you have over your servers. Okay, so this is how SQL injection vulnerability works, and this is how we can fetch the data and why we are using SQL injection. This is the exact example which I wanted to show you. Okay, this is the account number 800006, and this is a savings account which I selected over here. Now, if I'm selecting the data about this credit card and select account, now this is what it is giving you, where they have spend the credit card and whatever the spendings they have for that particular credit card. You will be able to see the data for this particular card holder, credit card holder. So this is how the SQL injection is exactly working. Okay, and this is how I can try to access as an admin or access as an any of the high privilege user. Okay, so that I'll be able to get all the data whichever is present over the website. Right now, I would like to show you one more thing: the backend code. Okay, how it is exactly working. If I'm writing it, view page source. Now it will give you how they are exactly working. The login.jsp. Okay, so here whatever the logins you will be able to see, though this is the exact uh, link which you will be able to see on logins. Right now, how exactly the content inside it is working, so you will be able to see those. Now, personal deposit, personal checking, personal loans, how exactly the cards are working. If I am clicking on this, then it will also work as a traversal. Okay, if I am a hacker, okay, and I want to identify which all the sites this particular Toro Mutual has. Okay, now I'm doing the website traversal, or I am identifying the website map. Okay, so this is the really easy way which I can identify the website map over the internet. Right, so this is a very basic thing which we are exactly doing. Okay, now here you can able to see, like, they are also written the password, username, how they will get it as a username. Okay, the username which you are seeing up in this way, in a readable format, this is because of this code: type text uid value style width. Okay, so which means, take it as a type, what type of data it will get. Okay, input, basically, in a text format. So same in a text format you are writing it. And if I'm writing the same over here, so here you, this is encrypted already, you are unable to see it. Okay, so now on your screens, which is like type is equals to password, so it will automatically transfer it into a password format. Okay, so it won't show you the exact readable format data, whereas it will convert it into dot dot dot. Okay, so this is not human readable. So this is the backend script which they are writing over there. Now the catch is how I applied the SQL injection. There are two type of SQL injection. One is blind SQL injection and one is hidden file, right? So this is one is blind SQL injection which I was trying. Now, if I want to do some sort of testing over the website, which is called SAST and DAST testing, dynamic testing and the static testing. So that was a dynamic testing, and now I want to do the static testing on the basis of the code. Okay, you have to identify the vulnerabilities on the basis of the code, right? So how I will be able to do it, so I will simply check for the script. Okay, the script whichever they have written. Now scripts are working with backend servers. Okay, this is the exact functionality with the web application. So if I'm running this function, I will understand, okay, this particular website is accepting the data in this format. There is not particular thing which they are accepting over here, document.login value, whatever the value I am talking about here, like unknown 1 is equals to 1. So whatever thing will be uh, present over the database, and that will be true again. 1 is equals to 1 I applied over here, right? 1 is equals to 1 and the unknown data it is there. Then it will automatically take to the admin page which you just saw. Okay, so this is called SaaS based testing, which we are applying over the websites, right? So on the basis of this function only, I will be able to understand that whether this website is present for the SQL injection or not, right? So these are the things which we are exactly doing over the internet, or if we are testing any websites, then these are the things which we need to follow. Okay, this is SQL injection. Okay, now I would like to show you the XSS vulnerability, which you can see over here as on 6 number, right? XSS, which is cross scripting. Now, cross-site scripting simply works on the, what to say, if we need to run or we need to inject the code over the website. Okay, suppose this is your website, um, the same website. Okay, this is your website, Altoro Mutual testing website, right? Now I want to check if I want to inject my malicious code into this particular website, I will be able to do so. I'm just checking it. I'm not injecting any code. I'm just checking it, right? So if you want to check, then you need to write particular type of code over the internet, and you have to check whether that particular script is running over the a particular website or not. So this is how I will write. This is the thing which we are doing it. That is like the same thing which I'm writing over here. Yeah, so here I have already written like script alert. Okay, script, if I say, like, this is also working on the basis of script, right? Running the script, JavaScript on the backend. If I'm going here script and script close, this is the sign of script close. Open script and close script at the end. Okay, this is the format, this is the HTML format which I am writing over here. Whatever the things, whatever the code we are opening, scripts we are opening, documents we are opening inside the HTML.html, then that should apply it as a closed one as well. If you are opening something, then you have to close it. This is the HTML program. Then here I am applying alert. If this is an XSS and there is a code is running, then you have to apply 123, give a pop-up with 123 written over there. Okay, with the message 123, right? Now I'm injecting a code, just a code. I'm just checking that there is a reflected XSS vulnerability or not. This is called reflected XSS vulnerability. Okay, now if I'm trying as go, this will give you 123. Yes, this has the reflected XSS vulnerability on this particular website. Okay, this is not a mean that if I'm writing only 123, whatever the alert I am writing over here, or whatever code I'm writing over here, I'm writing hello, then it will generally give you that whether this XSS vulnerability is working or not, right? So now, if there will be a vulnerability of reflected XSS cross-site scripting by using this script format, which you will be able to see up here, we are using this script, open and close script as a JavaScript, because we want to inject our own code so that this particular website will now take our functions and work accordingly. Okay, according our injected code. Okay, so this is how we can check whether this website is vulnerable to these injectable codes or not. Okay, this is the term which we are exactly using. Okay, now let's back to the other type of cyber threats, which is like MITM attack. MITM, a very basic attack which we are doing, that is might be possible that is not just emerging threat, right? But still, we cannot say that this is happening or not. MITM basically stands for man in the middle attack, right? The system which I have in front of me, okay, and in front of you guys, whatever the systems you have, now that system is hopefully connected with the hotspot or connected with the Wi-Fi as well. Right now, I am connected with my Wi-Fi. Okay, if somebody gets the access to my access point or the Wi-Fi router, right, so they can simply see that what exact things which I am doing over here. Okay, if they are setting into the network, okay, then according to that they can see the traffic. Okay, in coming classes we will work on that particular traffic because this is the deep which we need to understand. Okay, but in a general term, MITM attack is like man in the middle attack. If somebody is sitting between your access point or the router, so they can see exact thing, whatever wherever you are putting your credentials, where you are what you are accessing it, whom you are talking to. Okay, so they can listen all these type of things, right? This is called MITM attack. Okay, this is again a sophisticated attack which I'm talking about. Okay, now we have the social engineering and phishing are both interconnected. That is like if I want to gain access to one of the systems for any of the organization, the large organization, social engineering is just one part. Like you are getting the OTP and you are providing those OTPs to the other person who is not belongs to you. Do not know them, right? They are just trying to be your known person. Okay, so they will pretend like that. Okay, so they will say that I am doing this and that. Your card is blocked. These type of things they will do, and they will manipulate your mind. That is called social engineering. Okay, manipulation of your mind, and then they will gain the access to your banking website. So this is the sophisticated example which I need to give, which is really going on over the internet, right? Phishing is just like the same thing which is under phishing again as well, that you are working with the individuals and gaining the account access of the individuals, and then you are wiping out their accounts. Okay, but the phishing meanings change whenever we are into the large, small, or medium organizations, the large scale organizations, right? The large scale organizations are uh, getting the emails, right, on a daily basis. Then over those emails, they are opening those particular emails for accessing it. Okay, now as per the social engineering, if any attacker has formed social engineering, they have gained insights of any of the organization, they are targeting one of the highest privileges users inside the internet. Now they are once you clicked over the internet, oh sorry, once you have clicked over the link, then they can simply inject a vulnerable or malicious code into your system. Okay, on the basis of that your system will automatically start communicating with the external device or the server. Okay, so this is how phishing works on a large scale, and these are the terms which we are using. Okay, if I go ahead, then there are some of the ongoing cyber threats with individuals. Okay, now ongoing cyber threats targeting individuals are increasingly sophisticated and diverse. As personal information which you have presented online, whatever the online activities you are doing, wherever you are going, more integral to daily life, individuals face a range of threats that can compromise their privacy, your finances, your privacy, your security. So that is called the cyber threats with individuals which are going on. So we will go on. Identity theft, just like somebody is creating your fake profile over the internet, over the social media. If somebody is creating a fake website, just like a different organizations, right? That is called identity theft. Okay, this is called digital identity theft, basically, right? Online scams and fraud, which we just talked about, we are sharing the OTPs and all these are the sophisticated attacks which we all are having. Social engineering, credential theft, the same thing. If they are doing the social engineering, then they are also uh, steal your credentials to access your social media accounts and all. These are the sophisticated threats which any individuals can have. Okay, data breaches, fake website and online impressions. As I just told you that this is again identity theft, digital identity theft. Okay, privacy violations, phone scams. These are deeply driven cyber threats which any individuals can have. Okay, this is what exact we are working. Right now, I would like to show you one more thing. How exactly we are working with the Google, okay, and how exactly we are getting the sophisticated malwares and sophisticated vulnerabilities over the internet. There is a website which we call it as Google Exploit Database. This is very much useful, and we are also using these type of websites. Okay, let me share my screen with you guys. Okay, now this I'm opening it here. Yeah, so this is exploit DB. In general term, we say whenever we are working into the industry, cybersecurity industry, so we say it as exploit DB. But in a general term, this is like presented by Google hacking database. Okay, so if you want to work on the hacking databases and if you want to see that what exact things which are running over here and why various online devices are present over there, GHB ID, okay, when Google Doc is present, Google search, if you will run this Google search, then this is what you will identify. Basically, this is giving you the identification of all devices which are present online. Okay, now you have gained the access to one of the devices which is present online and that is vulnerable to multiple stuff. All right, so this is the exploit database which we have. Okay, that device is working on ST file 1.9 remote run. CPU mode is remote run, which means this is a virtual machine, right? Device, it is working micrologics 1400 processor. Okay, and this is the Rockwell automation. Something is going on from this, right? User provided pages. So these type of data which we are also getting from a Google database, if there is something like online devices are present and they are exploited or they are not safe, right? Then you can see it over there. Now I will be able to show some more thing, which is this one. Okay. This is AWS access key, and we are using this exploit database for finding vulnerabilities, for finding vulnerable databases, for finding vulnerable assets for any of the company which are just online and over the internet. Okay, so this is how we are exactly identifying the things, and this is how exactly we are working with the stuff. Now there is one more thing which we have, which we are exactly using. That is like this particular web server, you can say, uh, sorry. Okay, so this is the search engine, just like Google, but this is more than that. Okay, more than Google search. Okay, if I say that there is a surface internet, dark web, surface web, then these are the things working on the basis of that. Google is a surface web that is working on the surface. Whatever the information you need, then Google go and search for that particular information. But this is a deep web, or you can say a deep down into it, and whatever the information you need to get, or whatever the vulnerable devices you have over the internet, it will identify those of the vulnerable devices, which we just identified over the exploit database or the Google database. Right. So this is what we are exactly using for identifying the exact vulnerable devices. If I'm writing over here the particular IP address, right? So that is like cloud provider, Azure cloud provider, and cloud service it is using is Azure cloud. The port which is it is using the port number 80, right? What type of service it is going on is like is geo service mesh. Now I'm going over here. Okay, so this is unable to connect, just like the thing if we need to connect over there. And the server is from Microsoft Corporation, and this is the server IP of Microsoft. Right now, you want to explore, then you can get the you can see that there are few of the no. Okay. Website, whether it is open or not. Okay, so here you will be able to see the host names, which is from Meta, that is like Facebook. Okay, this is a Facebook server working with the Cloudflare organization, right? What type of technology it is using, the Google Analyticals it is using, right? So if you have any type of website and you have IP address of that particular website, so if you are coming over the Shodan, so Shodan will scan that particular server and identify that what all the ports are open, okay, and what type of communication they are exactly working and what type of technologies that particular server is using. So this is how attackers are exactly using these type of web searches, okay, the search engine, and they are identifying the vulnerabilities over the servers, if that, or if they want to target any of the sophisticated attack, or they want to run those, right? So this is how exactly they are gaining the access, and this is how exactly they are reckoning all those devices which are present over there. Like if I am the attacker and I want to target one of the organization, then from a website I can gain the IP address. From that particular organization website I can gain the IP address. If I'm coming over here and I'm giving the IP address this time, this, right? Now it will give you what all the open ports, what type of web technologies they are using, it belongs to which of the networks, right? General information, Cloudflare it is using. Now port number 443 it is using. After gaining these particular type of data, now we are designing the attack. Okay, now we are designing the sophisticated attack and what type of exploits we can run for that particular website. This is the data which we are gaining. That is a simple term is called recon. Okay, so these are the live things which exactly we are doing over the internet, right? This is how exact things which are working in the back, right? Now, if I have the components in cybersecurity, this is again good. Components, this is basically on the basis of industry side, right? Industry in the sense, the small organization, big organization, medium, large, these type of organizations we have. Endpoint security we are using, application security, just like mobile application, web applications, right? And this is like endpoint security. Endpoint, in a general term we call it as endpoint, like the assets which we have inside the infrastructure, just like Windows, Linux, or these type of devices which we have here, which we are using over the operating systems. Now the PC, desktop, that is called endpoint devices, and we are also providing the endpoint security. Access management, this is like just most of the people are working in an organization, we are providing them the access, and we are saying that you have to use multi-factor authentications, right? Then you have to use the password over there, right? The as much characters you can apply, right? Where standard is 8 characters, but as much as characters you can apply, that is good for protecting your data, okay, protecting your access. Data privacy, we are working physical security, which means nobody will be able to physically harm any of the organization systems, servers, right? Whenever you are going into your organization, might be possible you have seen that outside the server you have seen, you won't get the access to that particular server room, so that is called physical security. Unauthorized people cannot access those server rooms. Okay. Audit ATP, which means as advanced threat protections, which we talked about just about the threats which are going on. Incident response is a basic part of a SOC, security center. We will understand incident response in a deep manner, but as of now, incident response is like whatever the alerts, whatever the faults you have identified with the system. Okay, and if you are working, then you need to run an investigation, and this is how we are responding to the incidents. Right? These are just components of cybersecurity. Okay, we will surely work uh, around all these type of components in 5 days bootcamp or remaining bootcamps. Okay, now I will talk about security for small, medium, and large organizations. So that is the difference between all these three. That is like small organizations. Why they are small? Okay, small in a term or small in a security. That is like they have limited budget for security, fewer employees or IT infrastructure. They are not just spending on IT infrastructure. They are not that much spending on security. Okay, so we consider it as small organization. Then also they have lack of security resources, just like they're using good sim tools. They are using open source applications, right? They are using open source EDR. They have less amount of tools which are able to protect, just like EDR, XDR. Okay, so these are the tools which they do not have. Why they do not have? Because they are lack of resources because of the limited budget. Okay, medium organizations are like moderate budget. They have moderate budget, large infrastructure and complex systems they have. Just means like they are purchasing the licenses for most of the tools, right? They are spending the money over the security, and they have a dedicated security team. Okay, the dedicated people are working on different technologies, just like EDR, SME, SIM SME, okay, SIM tool. Okay, so these are the example of medium organization which they are exactly working. Okay, now large organizations is like significant budget, specialized team, and full resources. Large organizations like they have large budget, okay, significant budget for the security. Okay, they are working on a specialized team. They are hiring specialized people. Okay, then they have full of resources. Whatever the tool you name, they have. Whatever the EDR you name, they have. XDR they have. Okay, technologies and level of technologies they have. So that is called large organizations. Okay, so this is the difference between all of them. Now I would talk about that this is a day one about cybersecurity and information security introduction. So most of the people have the question about what all the domains we can go into and what all the domains the cybersecurity is happening. Okay, so cybersecurity is one of the domain. Okay, and information security. These are the subdomains between the cybersecurity and information security. First of all, we can go into the SOC. Okay, Security Operations Center. In day two, we are covering SOC. Okay, so you will be able to understand SOC in a deeper manner, but this is again a domain in cyber security, Security Operations Center. Now, vulnerability assessment and pen testing is again a separate subdomain. We call it as VAPT, okay, where we are performing the security testing on live environment, right? Network security is again a domain where the firewalls we are working, the EDRs, NDRs we are working, network detection and response. These are the tools where we are working. Vulnerability management assessment, where we are working as a vulnerability management, patching, mitigations. We are providing solutions to the security team. As a large organizations, as above, large organizations have larger teams. So these are the separate domains they have divided into. Okay, network security team is different, vulnerability assessment team is different, SOC team is different, VM team is different, cloud security team is different, governance and compliance team is different. So these are the domains into the large organizations. Basically, you will identify. Okay, governance and compliance basically works on an audit side, like whether our policies and rules are working fine, or our security is going fine, right? Everything is up and running. Okay, business continuity they are working, disaster recovery they are working basically. Right, so these are the security domains which really we are working into. Now, if you have any questions, you can please write into the chat, the live chat. I will try to answer those. Right. Okay, guys. So if you have any questions for me, then please ask into the chat, and I will surely answer all of those. Basic requirement for VAPT is you have to work for CEH, Certified Ethical Hacker certificate to gain from EC Council. This is the first step. We all know that CEH is the entry level certificate in cybersecurity or the VAPT domain. Then you have to gain the insight about exact pen testing technologies and techniques which we are applying. There are different type of tools which you can go on the operating system, and you need to practice a lot for VAPT. Then you can go ahead and gain the after gaining this certificate, you can apply for the job as a fresher. Then after that, you can go ahead with EJPT, which is a junior pen testing, the IZAKA. Okay, these are the certificate which you can pursue, and then you will slowly get the basics about the VAPT and how to do the pen testing, right? Is cybersecurity and ethical hacking same? The cybersecurity is basically a domain, right? And ethical hacking is a subdomain. You can say that we are doing the testing, pen testing or security testing for one of the organization with ethically, right? We are not hacking those. If we have identified one of the vulnerabilities, then we are just going that particular organization or the industry that this is the vulnerability I have identified over your application or mobile application. We are informing them. So we are informing them that this is the domain, you can say. So, which are the best companies to work for in this field? To be honest, as per my experience, there are no best companies which you can choose for cybersecurity. Right now, all the organizations are into the cybersecurity domain. They are working in SOC, they are working in the VAPT domain, governance and compliance domain. So that is all about how you can learn and where you can learn, right? Because learning is important in cybersecurity. That is why this is the emerging field. Does pen testing require coding? Yes, a little bit coding knowledge you should have. The bash scripting, the Python you should know. If you are doing the SaaS-based testing, the code-based thing, then you have to know that how these codes are working, which I just show over the internet. Yeah, after that SQL injection and XSS queries. Okay, so if I have the knowledge about JavaScript, how JavaScript is working, I have understand knowledge about the JavaScript, then only I will be able to perform the SaaS based testing for any of your application. So the answer is yes. How to protect our IP by using VPN? You can protect yourself. Okay, so VPN hide your IP addresses. Okay, there are so many free VPNs which you can use, just like Thunder VPN. Okay, so this that will hide your IP address. And for more security, you can use dark web. Why we need tools? Okay, so this is a good question, that why exactly we need tools. The question is very much simple, that tools are there to help us to make our things easier, to make our practices easier, whatever the things we are performing into the organization, just like a SIM tool, security information and event management tool, EDR, endpoint detection and response. So these tools are just here to make our things easier, and on the basis of that, we can get the detections in SOC. If we are working on Kali Linux, Hydra, then these are also the things which we are performing the testing over the internet. Just like other uh, professions have their own tool, right, to work for. This is the same, just like we have a tool for cybersecurity to test for. Okay.
Hi, sir. Good evening.
Hello. Hello. Good evening.
This is Shreya here from LetsUpgrade team. Sir, due to
Okay.
some reasons, we have to end today's class. The next queries,
Okay.
all the remaining queries, you can address in tomorrow's session. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. Bye.